HW back with the Tone Junkie Podcast, episode 99. Good golly, Miss Molly, we're back in a big way. What's up, dudes? HW here. I gotta put this thing down. This is a flying V. If you're on the audio only, that's a flying V right there. And woo, I like that guitar, man. But I'm a sucker. You know why? HW episode 99, Tone Junkie Podcast. We're back. We're back in a big way. HW, what are you doing back? Where are the guitar friends? Where'd they go? What's going on? Did you guys get a divorce? Who got custody of Goldie? Just don't worry about it, man. Honestly, everyone's just been so busy. It's been so hard to do Guitar Friends. I've enjoyed it so much. No coffee today. We're doing this in the afternoon. It's a Coke Zero. Coke Zero. Extra crispy Coke Zero from McDonald's. 4 things I love in this world. Jesus. My family. Guitar. And a crispy Coke Zero. Come on, man. Come on. Tell me that ain't the list right there. That's my sunshine and lollipops. But really, where are the guitar friends? I don't know, working or something. Here's the thing about life, man. You know, people have jobs, they've got careers, they've got just all this stuff going on. And at the end of the day, you'd like to make a Guitar Friends episode every day. But when it's hard to get everybody together, you know, everyone's got responsibility and stuff. It's hard to get everybody together. And so I thought, you know what? There's still going to be some more episodes. The Uncle Willie episode's going to come out. I did an episode with Uncle Willie. That's coming. But in the meantime, let's just bring back the Tone Junkie Podcast. We did 98 episodes. This podcast is actually a historic guitar podcast. I've had a lot of great people on this podcast. And isn't the joy of any podcast really the friends we made along the way? I think so. Anyway, a lot to talk about in today's episode. I figure I'll just do these this way. Maybe I'll set up the desk sometime, but why not? You know, I was right here. I figure when the bug bites you, HW, you got to get on the mic. Because few people can walk up here, raw dog, no notes, no nothing, one microphone, one man, and just crank out a podcast. We don't even need an agenda. We don't need guests. We don't need anything like that. We just need the spirit that brought Tone Junkie alive, that brought us all here. And that is, I don't know, apparently you have nothing better to do than listen to me on the internet. For the old school fans, if you're back, you're like, what is going on? This is like an old school stream of consciousness intro. And it is. And now we're going to get to some topics. The guitar friends are here, are at their houses probably, or working or something. We're going to have more episodes, so don't speculate on that. I do have sole custody of Goldie, in case you were wondering. And I'm just a big sucker because I have a friend named Shad. And Shad runs a company called Retro Sound Guitars. And Shad a while back sent me a guitar that was a P90 Gold Top. You've seen it on the channel. I've played it a bunch. I've had it a bunch. It's back there. And Shad, a while back, he sent me that guitar. He's like, hey, I launched this new company, and we make pickups, and now we make guitars, and I'm trying to promote it. Can I send you a guitar? So he sent me that Les Paul, and I said, bad news, dude. I'm buying it. You can't have it back. He's like, all right. So I bought that from him. And then a while back, just a little while back, I've had this too long for the amount of content I've made with it. So Shad, my bad, but I'm going to get this in some videos now. I kind of had a little hiatus last month. I had a bunch of stuff going on in the real world, in the personal life. What is the real world? Is the internet the real world, or is the real world the real world? Sometimes I think the real world is the real world, but sometimes I go online too much and then I start thinking the internet's the real world. What's that about? Anyway, Shad sent me this Flying V, and well, I think he knew I was going to try to buy it from him, and I probably will. Played it at church. People were like, "You played a Flying V at church?" It's like, yeah, V for victory. Points to Jesus, man. You know what I'm saying? Hallelujah, amen. I like to think Jesus would play a Flying V if he were going to play a guitar. You know, that's a theory. And I think biblically it's sound. Because go ahead and make the hermeneutic, go ahead and make the case based on the Bible that Jesus wouldn't play a Flying V. Tell me that he'd play a 135 or something. No thanks. No thanks. Nope, my Jesus doesn't play a 135. He plays a Flying V. Anyway, a lot to talk about. A lot of news out there in the guitar world right now. A lot of news out there and a lot of things going on. Obviously, we're in this big glut where it's hard to sell stuff. I'm trying to sell some stuff right now. I've kind of come to the conclusion that a lot of gear that used to give me joy doesn't anymore. And so, what's that lady, Marie Kondo or something? Does it spark joy? Then throw it away. And so I got some guitars and I'm just like, I'm at the point where I'm like, I think there's a good 8 or 9 guitars that I just don't play, and I don't really care if they're here. And one of them's Trini. It's old 67 Trini Lopez. It's a beautiful Gibson. If someone would give me like 15 to 18 grand for that guitar, I would sell it. And I think I'm going to go to Carter's and tell them that. And they're probably going to say, that's a little on the high end. I'm going to go, okay. Let me know when you can. Hold on to it if not for a while. Like, it's a beautiful, really great condition, guitar. But here's the thing, man. It's just worth so much money. And I'm kind of like, I don't take it out of the house. I'm constantly worried it's going to knock over and break. And I'm like, I could go get 2 Greco 335s that I actually play out of the house. One P90 and one humbucker that I'd probably love just as much in terms of the actual guitar playing itself. And then I could have like 10 grand in my pocket on top. That sounds like a good deal. So I enjoy having it, but I kind of look and I go, well, maybe I'll sell that and maybe I'll buy this retro sound. That's a cool thing to add to the collection. And then maybe I'll go grab a 335 somewhere. I saw this FGN 335. That's a Fujigen brand, Fujigen Gaki in Japan. They have that FGN brand, and it's got P90s just stock in it. It's beautiful, beautiful guitar. So I might do that, And there's another guitar I have called Ruby, which is a 72 Gibson that someone put ruby sparkle paint all over and put two Gibson embossed humbuckers in and stuff. It's a great guitar, done in a really great way. I just never play it. I reach for the stuff I reach for. I got a couple of guitars I bought earlier in the year that are cheaper that I don't really need anymore. I don't want anymore. I haven't played them. Some Squires, a couple of those Sire 335 kind of things. I got those, and so I don't really need another 335, but they don't spark joy. They don't spark joy. What's the point of a guitar if it doesn't spark joy? It's like once you get past like 10 guitars, you don't need the next 10, So like a lot of times it's like, oh, it's cool. But really it's just like, I don't need the money and I kind of like it, so I'll just leave it there. But I'm at the point with my guitar collection where I already have a bunch of guitars that are hanging on the wall, and I have too many for that. And so I'm like, okay, I literally have guitars that are in the way. Like they're just in the way right now. And that's not all of I'm still going to have like I'm pretty sure after I get rid of like 9, I'm still going to have like close to 20 guitars. And I would say only 4 or 5 of them ever get taken out of the house. Maybe Maybe 6 or 7 get taken out of the house. But 4 of them are going out of the house all the time. You know what I mean? 3 or 4 of them are out of the house 80% of the time I go out of the house. And the rest just live here, you know? So it might be time to do that. And, you know, it's part of this whole other thing that I've been realizing, which is like, man, what's the goal? What's the thing? You know? I don't mean what's the purpose of life, but I mean, like, what am I trying to achieve? Because it's easy to get carried away with, like, oh, the most downloads of anyone's ever had, most packs available, largest collection on this platform and this platform and this platform. I don't know, man. I had a realization lately at some level that just like, I heard someone say like, well, what's your mission statement? I've always thought mission statements were dumb, but I realized I had to have like a little bit of a like recentering moment around like, what am I trying to accomplish here at Tone Junkie? And I realized all I'm really trying to do, of course I'm selling stuff to make a living, you know what I mean? But all I'm really trying to do is I want to help people get great digital tones, and I want to help them be more knowledgeable. Not even just be more knowledgeable, but be more knowledgeable so that they can practically help themselves. I just want to help people enjoy amp tones in a digital platform more. I want to help them get out of it what they want. I want to help them have fun. I want to demystify a few things. And I want to just give people awesome tone. Part of that is I want some people to pay me for it. But part of that is I also want this, and this is my new thing, and it's why I just did this deluxe reverb pack. It's the first step of the next 150 steps that I've mapped out in my head. It is the HW master plan. It's the master plan that I realize has really been what I am supposed to be after the whole time. And that is, you get one life and you want to be really great at something. And it's easy even when you're doing that thing to get a little distracted with things here and there. But the real focus, I think for everyone, is to sort of look at what you're good at and take that very narrow thing or that one thing and choose it and be the best you can be. And I think at some level, the goal maybe should be the best in the world at that thing. And your thing might look a lot like somebody else's thing, but it's actually, I think, a different thing, I don't know what it looks like to be the best amp capturer in the world. I don't know. But I think there's a version of me months or years in the future that is the very best on this planet at something very specific. And I'm still honing in on it. But I'm hot on a trail with this 150-step plan. And this, refocused mission statement. I'm refining it. But it's like, what's the goal? What's Tone Junkie about? And it's like, I just want to help people have the most fun, awesome, rad experience on digital that they've ever had. I want to explain some things, demystify some things, teach some things. I want to help some people out with some things. I want people to buy my packs. And I also, here we go, this is the step one. I want to make sure that I can say on every platform, here are the very best 3 amps that I've ever owned. This 65 Deluxe, this particular Vox AC30, and this Marshall. And I've been debating which Marshall to do. I could do the 68 Purple Plexi, could do the 74, could do just a super lead, 71 super lead. I'm debating. because I'm not sure which is the best. They're all good at different stuff. You know what I mean? But anyway, it's going to be one of those. And I want to just maintain, because I've told people this before. You don't need to buy anything. People, I'll get on there. Oh, hey guys, check this out, Guys, watch out, he sells stuff. Well, you know what? You don't need to buy anything. Here's the gold frickin' standard of tone. If you can't do it with these three, the tones I deliver to you with these three, your hands are paralyzed. You're a cripple. You don't even play the guitar. I saw a cripple kid, though. He was on, I don't think that's the PC term for it today, but I can't keep up. Somebody told me the other day, they said a person experiencing autism, and somebody else cut him off, and he said, no, they're called acetaminophen Americans now. And I'll be honest with you, that joke kind of offended me, and I also chuckled. So I don't even know how to feel about that. But forgive me to the cripple community if you're watching this. I don't even know if the word crippled really refers to someone born that way or someone who was like paralyzed at some point. You know what I mean? Sounds like a term that would be on the form of like a 1920s like adoption paperwork or like a orphanage, Anyway, I saw this kid, though. He couldn't move his arms, and he was playing with his feet. Sounded pretty good. He played Smoke on the Water. Anyway, it's about taking those very best three, and just saying, look, you never need to buy anything. You don't need to participate in this creator economy. You don't need to do anything. First principles. Going back to first principles. Help people, and they might reward you with thank you coupons. You know what I'm saying? That's it, man. That is the thing right there. Help people. And I'm telling you, man, as soon as I started formulating this 150-step plan to ascend the mountain, my phone started ringing. I started getting calls from all sorts of people. In a weird, karmic law of attraction way, which I don't really believe in that stuff. You know what I mean? But in a weird karmic law of attraction way, all of a sudden I started getting calls with like opportunities. Just one after another, after another, after. I start going, what is going on around here? And I don't really know. But all I know is this. It's just what do you want to leave in this world? What do you want to leave behind? And I've decided I'm going to leave the most awesome, rad, kick-ass library of digital amp captures the world has ever seen across all the platforms forever. The most exhaustive, the most intense, the most loved, the most tone junkie in existence. And so the 65 Deluxe that we just did, that I just put out, that was the beginning, right? That's the beginning of the new thing. And it's a beginning of a little different voice, I think, too, because it sounds different. And it's from me listening to some things and just going, I do enjoy this, but I also enjoy this. And I want to give people this. And everything's a give and take, right? You dial something in differently, you're giving up something else. But there's some things I've learned too in doing this for a long time that I've shied away from. I haven't wanted to change my process too much, but it's become time. It's become time. The world is a changing. The world is a vampire. Don't get copyright stricken. You know. Anyway, the world is a changing, but some things remain the same. You know what I mean? Actually, only one thing. Only one thing doesn't change. Only one thing remains the same. And you know what that is? You know what that is? The unchanging thing in all of our lives. The thing that is more sure than the sun rising tomorrow. Us, a fickle heart and mind and spirit. What is the one thing we can always rely upon that never changes? It's that the Eagles will copyright strike your cover of Hotel California. Amen. I thought you were going somewhere else. Welcome to Tone Junkie Podcast, episode 99. Got the crispy Coke Zero, man. Whoo. You know, my wife told me earlier, she said, hey, any chance you want a crispy Coke Zero from McDonald's? I said, yes, I do. You don't need to ask me twice. Yes, I do. Extra crispy. I pull up in that drive-thru and I go, hey, y'all. There's only one guy on the other end of that speaker there. But he goes, hello, welcome to McDonald's. Would you be using the app today? What's with that? What's with this app thing? They're obsessed with the apps. It's like, hey, dude, I'm here for a burger. I don't need to download an app. But I will tell you something. National Cheeseburger Day was just like a couple weeks ago. I did download the app and I did get was it 50 cent? It was the 50 cent double cheeseburger. In the app, I've been using that app. And, dude, you get rewards fast. All right. I've had a free McChicken. I got a free small fry. I mean, just in a couple visits, man. And let me tell you something. If you're a dad or you're a parent, if you're paying for other people who are eating McDonald's, get that app. Get the app. You'd go one or two. I mean, because the app rewards are clearly, to me, they're very generous. To me, the app rewards are designed for a person who eats at McDonald's. So when you're a family that eats at McDonald's, you're like, oh, dude, we got free stuff on visit number 2. You know what I'm saying? And then you're adding some, and then all of a sudden they're like, we got a special on this new thing, and you got this and that. And I'm just like, I'm going, I could put together almost a whole meal right here. And as a dad, that just feels like such a deal. I'm like, what are you guys getting? Actually, I tell my kids this. My kids are like, we want to go eat out all the time. Oh, we want to eat out. We don't want mom's food. My wife is such an amazing cook, such an amazing godly woman. You know what I mean? I'm talking Proverbs 31, brother. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, amazing woman. You know, people say better half. And I guess that's accurate. But my wife's like, you know, she's an amazing cook. I mean, amazing cook. She made these pumpkin muffins the other day. She makes sourdough bread all day long, like all the time. She makes sandwich bread, you know. She makes like my son was requesting like In-N-Out burger bowls, like lettuce, like salad, double salad bowls or something. She makes the In-N-Out sauce. Man, we had a neighbor come over. Dude ate like 3 burgers because she made the In-N-Out sauce, and she grilled out in the back. Like, she grills better than me, and I'm not even embarrassed. She just knows how to do food well. So anyway, my sons are like, you know, they're 13 next month, one of them is, and then the other one's 10. And the 10-year-old's like kind of a genius, so he like knows a lot of stuff because he won't stop reading, which I guess is a good problem. He also consumes insane stuff on the internet. He's one of these kids that his brain just moves so fast. He's like got a show at full volume and he's playing a game. And then at the same time, he's talking to someone and he like retains it all. And I'm sure that's like, I don't know, gotta be some like, I'm sure he's like damaging his brain, but at the same time, it's like I don't know, it's like a weird, like he's flying a spaceship. And he's making actually really clever content for the internet. And I'm sitting back like, dude, I would not, he's using a fake AI voice to make videos where he basically just complains about things that happen to him during the day, which is very much something you would think a child of mine would do. But because he doesn't use a child's voice, you wouldn't guess this is a child telling the story. And that's what's weird. As I'm listening to it, I hear Leo. I hear his inflection and his everything. And not that he's not doing the voice, but I mean, I hear his cadence in his speech, the grammar choice, the way he speaks, the style. I hear his literary voice, but it's a computer man's voice. And I go, this is familiar to me. But I go, this is also very funny and entertaining. And he does it, and then he puts like video game stuff on it. So you're like watching this person, you're watching this character try to do something while you're hearing this story. You know, very typical, like you see this, like someone doing a speed run in Minecraft telling a whole story on Reddit or something. But dude, the stuff he's coming up with is just so clever. His channel is called Microwave Shazam. Go check that out if you want. And so anyway, my kids, you know, they go on this whole thing, and they're just like, Dad, can we go eat out? I'm like, right. I'm like, Liz, do you want to eat out? She's like, we shouldn't eat out. I could make food. I have this. And I can usually get her if I go like this. I go, I know, but hon, you know, the cleaning lady just came like a day or two ago. You know, the house is still clean. You know, I'll help you, but I don't mind. You don't want you have to do so much tonight, you know. And she'll be like, oh. Oh, okay. And so we end up, you know, doing the stupidest thing in the world, which is, you know, darkening the door of a Chipotle with 5 individuals, even if one is a 2-year-old. So, you know, whatever, $98 later, right? And it's $98 because my family, my kids, they're also extra these days. Like, my sons want to go to Chipotle and order, and any customization they can think of, they're going to make. They're like, hi, could I get a double tortilla burrito? Double tortilla? Why do you need it? I've been eating burritos my whole life. One tortilla has always sufficed. The tortillas are enormous there. Also, the tortilla is not the money part of a burrito. Imagine if they tripled your tortilla and took anything else away. You'd be upset. It's not what you're there for, you know? Anyway, the tortilla. Okay, so they're doubling up on the tortilla. Then they're like rice and beans, and they're like both. And they're like, okay, white or brown. And what my kids mean by that is they want white rice. Although they started doing this, they're like half white, half brown. And can you put half beans? Can it be the black beans and the pinto, I guess, or whatever? And then they think corn salsa is terrible, but they want salsa. They just do everything. Then they want guac. You know, they want sour cream. They're like this, and they're like, Dad, can I put queso in it too? I'm like, just get the regular cheese. We got to get through this line. You're like trying to make every, you know. And my son at one point, he's like, no, but I want both salsas and I want the fajita veggies, but can you put my protein on the side? Can I have my chicken on the side? I'm like, you don't even like that. Why is it better to have your chicken on the side? He's like, I just want it that way. I just want to eat it at a fork. And I'm almost like, you're just messing with them. But they're not. They just want to try it like every different way. So anyway, $98 later, because not only do they want guacamole in there, but they want guacamole to dip in, or they want queso to dip in. They want this, they want that. And I'm just like, hey, steak burrito. And they're like, you want that? I'm just like, steak burrito, white, black, fajita veggies, corn salsa, mild, cheese, light sour cream. Let's move it. I gotta go. Okay? There you go. That's the order. They're like, hi, welcome to Chipotle. And I just cut them off. They're like, Hi, welcome to Chipotle. And hi, welcome to Chipotle. And I'm like, steak, white, black, fajita, veggie, corn salsa, mild cheese, light sour cream. Wrap it up. Wrap it. Nope, I wasn't saying double wrap it in any tortilla or foil. I'm just saying let's get it going. All right, you got a line. I get it. I'm not trying to rush them in a weird way. I'm just going. I just want them to know that I know everyone else in here has gone crazy with all of the extras, all of the this. Listen to this. My mom came the other day. She was out here, and I'm trying to order food, and my son had like a play. They've been getting ready. They did Matilda. Both my sons were one of the 9 classmates in Matilda, so they had a lot of stage time. So we're going to this play, and my uncles, they just landed on a plane. And I go, hey, y'all, you guys just got here. Put your bags down. I go, listen, the thing starts in like 2 hours, and it's 30 minutes away. So we kind of got to leave. We got to leave. Like, we're chatting. I'm like, we got to leave in like an hour or 15. We got to get some food. Like, I'm not trying to rush you, but we should order food now if we want to order food. We order Chipotle, right? So my uncles, I go, here's what I'm getting. I type in, I go, what do you want? It's just like chicken burrito. I go, cool. What do you want in it? My uncle just looks at me and he goes, dude, whatever's normal, whatever you get in yours, I'm cool with. I go, awesome. Punch it in. Next one. My uncle, whatever, same thing. Okay. I go to my mom. I go, Mom, what do you want from Chipotle? She goes, well, what do they have? What do they have? Mom, you're from the San Francisco Bay Area. My mother and I have gone to La Cumbre for many, many times in the Mission District, where the Mission-style burrito, where they say it was invented. We've gone to Pancho Villa. We've gone to all the places in the Mission down there. This is a burrito. We know burritos. All right? We are Californians. We know burritos, Mom. So I didn't say any of that. She said, well, what do they have? I just looked at her and I went, well, it's like, you want a burrito? She's like, yeah, but what do they have? I go, they got every type of meat. They got chicken, beef, and pork. Which one do you want? And she goes, oh, well, they don't have the barbacoa anymore? I go, so you do know what they have. What are you asking me what they have for? What are you asking me what Chipotle has? You seem to know exactly the meat and the type of thing you want at Chipotle. You already know your favorite. What do they have? What is this? What is this strange dance we're doing? What is that? Don't they have the barbacoa? I don't. Yeah. Okay. Don't they have the barbacoa? I don't know. Give me your loyalty card while we're on the topic, because you apparently know exactly what you want at Chipotle. So, anyway, but I tell my kids these days, I go, look, we can go out to eat, but we're all going to one place. McDonald's. And they go, why? They go, Daddy HW. Papa W? Papa HW? They don't call me that. But they go, what? People go, why do you take your kids to McDonald's? You know why I take my kids to McDonald's? Because I got 3 kids. And I got a wife. And I don't like feeling like I got ripped off. I can afford to eat at Chipotle. Okay? I got an $18,000 guitar or something and a $20,000 amp and this and all those. I could sell all those and eat at any restaurant I want. But here's the big thing. Here's the thing, right? I don't want to feel like I'm getting ripped off. And I feel like when I go there and you charge $2 and some cents for guacamole, we've crossed the Rubicon on us being able to have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because you're it's almost like I handed you a 50 and you're like, no, you handed me a 20. And I'm just like, okay. Like, it feels dishonest. They've gone too far. Chipotle's gone too far. So the reason I like McDonald's is I'll take my family to McDonald's. And I go, good news, everybody. You're all getting the $5 meal. You know what I'm saying? Because I can feed this whole family for $20 at McDonald's. $20 at McD's, man. You want a McChicken or you want that McDouble? Now, some McDonald's do it at $6. I have tried the new Daily Double for $7. It's been very good. And the Big Mac meal is now $8. Oh, but trust me, they're already reaching up. Dad, can I get the $8 Big Mac meal? I go, all right, you can. Then the other one's like, well, actually, I just want the 2 cheeseburger meal. I'm like, whoa, guys, the whole plan, now your 2 meals together cost more than it's supposed to cost for the whole family. And they're like, but it's a small drink. I go, we're eating here. We get unlimited refills. It might be it's a bottomless drink. Let me tell you the $5 meal if you don't know. It's a McDouble or a McChicken. It's 4 nuggets, any sauce you want, a small fry, a small drink. Come on. Tell me that ain't worth $5. College HW would have been eating that 3 times a day. I gave up fast food for a while in college because I got poisoned. I got food poisoning out of Jack in the Box. It's one of the worst experiences of my life. I stayed up late doing a paper. I was hungry. I went out, got Jack in the Box, went home, went to bed. It was like 3:30 in the morning. I was going to sleep for like 4 hours and then get up and go to school. I woke up like an hour and a half later, and it felt like someone was jabbing a knife in my stomach. And I knew at that moment, this truth just came over me. The discernment of the Spirit came on me. And this is what it said. It said, this is coming out of you. One way or another. You choose which direction. And I thought to myself, I should go. I should make myself get rid of this out of my stomach right now. Right? I should do that. But I didn't. I chose the long road. I like to think it would have been shorter the other way. I chose the long road. That was a mistake. Worst food poisoning of my life. And then I gave up fast food for a while. And then someone let me try a delicious Crunchwrap Supreme. And I realized, like 2 star-crossed lovers, I had found my way back. But anyway, I tell my kids, I go, look, we're going. So there's 5 of us, but we eat for $20 at McDonald's if we go because, basically my wife will be like, do you want your fry? And I'll be like, nah, not really. And she'll be like, okay, I don't really want these nuggets, And I'll just have a couple fries from like the kids or something. Or there's like bag fries at the bottom, you get to steal those. And then I'll just give my youngest daughter the nuggets and fries. And you know what? When we do that, it's like the only time when there's almost no food left. Because my kids talk a big game. Do your kids do this? My kids are at the age, they talk a big game. Dad, could I please get the number 1 with the Big Mac with the fries? But I really want nuggets too, and I'm really hungry. Could I get 9 nuggets? That kid will be 3/4 through the burger. There'll be 3 nuggets left and 1/4 of a fry left. And I'm looking at it going, there's an entire $5 meal right here that you're leaving behind. I'll eat this. It's not really that much, but you know what I'm saying. So I just started telling them, we're all eating there for $20. I don't care. I don't feel ripped off. I don't feel like, we should stay home. We've eaten out too many times. I mean, there's like a health concern, like, we're eating out too much that way. We should eat healthier food at home. But in terms of the money, whatever, $20 to feed your family out is like, you know what I mean? What can you do? And at the end, I'll say it's such a good deal. I'll tell them, y'all want an ice cream on the way out? Want a cone? Want a vanilla cone? But you know what they do then? Oh, okay, I want a vanilla cone. Then we get up there. Dad, could I actually have a hot fudge sundae? And I'm looking at them like, I mean, I guess it's not that different, right? It's like, it's just a vanilla cone in a cup, but now you got the chocolate sauce on it. And then I'll be like, okay. And right before I say, okay, they're like, and can I get Oreos and M&Ms added in? And I'm like, all right, this is why we're not at Chipotle. Because you are trying to come up with just whatever you're trying to come up with, man. And I get it. I get it. Being a kid is mostly a hustle, right? It's mostly a hustle. Sometimes people are like, what's with all this hustle culture? I'm like, what are you talking about? Were you ever a child? All you're doing as a child is trying to hustle your way into stuff. All you're doing as an adult is trying to hustle your way into stuff. Or out of stuff. So anyway. I think I was going to go somewhere with that story, but I don't really remember what it was. And anyway, that's what we're doing now, because it's just. And then the other thing that I've realized is, I have a side job now. I have a second job, and that's I do a little DoorDash on the side, but I don't do it through DoorDash or for other people. I just realized that if I pocketed the money that my family was spending on DoorDash deliveries. That could be my new guitar budget, and I could buy a whole bunch of gear if I just went and got the food. So I told my family, no more DoorDash, because, they're like, what? But it's like, look, it's only $2 delivery charge. But I had this experience where I ordered a pizza. I tried to order it on DoorDash, and we were ordering it from this place near my house. And one of my kids, okay, again, they wanted something customized, and it wouldn't let me do it on the app. Like, it wasn't an option to remove this thing, because my kid is like, my son is my middle son again, Leo. He has a brilliant artistic voice, but we're trying to order pizza, and he's like, can I get the Italian beef hoagie? But can you add this and take off this? I'm like, no, we can't add mozzarella sticks onto the hoagie. It won't. Why not? I'm like, can I just order them on the side? You can put them on. They won't do it. I'm like, it's not in the app. Whoever made this app didn't put in the app. Oh, you know what? A possible substitution for an Italian beef sandwich should be mozzarella cheese sticks on it. That's apparently they're not getting enough requests that made it through. It didn't. The R&D team at Jet's Pizza didn't invent that, or whatever place it was. It was that other place. Anyway. So I go, okay, we can't do it here. Let me just call it in so Leo can get his sandwich. So I call. I had placed the order without the mozzarella stick thing, but I placed a whole order. And it was $105 on the DoorDash app. I called and placed the exact same order over the phone and told them I would go pick it up. $73. Now, I knew that the places were marking up the food to cover the cost of DoorDash, right? And because my understanding is DoorDash, Uber Eats, they take a portion of the ticket. So if you spend $100 there, the restaurant's only seeing, $70 or $80 or something. They're taking some ticket, because these restaurants have, they've become in a lot of ways fulfillment centers for all this new business, all this new demand. And if they don't do it, the neighboring pizza place is going to do it, right? If they don't do it, they're just leaving money on the table. So it's like, hey, business, would you like a lot of lower margin orders? And I think most people are like, yeah, we would. And that's why you're seeing all these McDonald's with the app. You're seeing all these, Taco Bell app, and all these pizza places have apps with all these deals. It's because they're marking the food up, but they're making less on DoorDash. They're happy to give you a McChicken every other time you come in there if they don't have to pay the DoorDash percentage to DoorDash. Not to mention that there's a lot of people on DoorDash and Uber Eats who just routinely say their food is wrong to get the money back. And who's to say it was or wasn't? I don't know. I don't do that. But I do know that when my food has been wrong and I try to correct it, they hardly give me any money back, which is really disappointing. But anyway, I don't order on those apps anymore. Just called it off. So I realized in that case, I was like, wow, I'm making it. If someone had said to me, hey, do you want to do DoorDash on the side? I would have said no. But if they called up and said, hey, I'll give you $30 right now if you drive to this restaurant, grab a pizza and hand it to your neighbor. Because that's essentially like what I'm doing. I'm leaving my house, grabbing the pizza, coming home. And it's like, oh, well, that's actually not a bad, like $30 for one pizza. And the place is like The place is 6 minutes from my home. So I'm kind of like, wow, if I just think of what I'm paying in Uber Eats and DoorDash fees, from my family, if I just go pick it up and think of that as like my second job, it's actually kind of worth it. So that's what I started doing. But we've been on this kick where we just eat in. You know what I mean? I've been eating. I'm on this diet where I'm just eating healthier, and I got about another like 25 pounds I'd love to lose. I got like 12 before I'm like really like right where I'm like, all right, that's good. That's where I should be. 25 if I want to look good. But I was about 18 pounds heavier than I am right now. So it's nice to be back in the area, where like, it's just nice to be able to say that. And so there you are. Tone Junkie Podcast, episode 99. What an episode. I think we're going to put this one in the books at about an hour. I like that length. That's what she said. And we're going to call this one episode 100. What should we do? No idea. I always plan like a big guest for episode 100. It's probably just going to be you and me. It's always just been you and me. HW, out.